Hey everyone, this is William May with Century 21. A lot of people have been asking me about the Mojo contest and been asking me a few questions about some other things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to uh, sign up for the contest. Hey, hold up, wait a minute. Before you do anything else, make sure you subscribe right now. That way, I know that you like what I'm putting out here, and if you have any questions, you can always contact me. So make sure you subscribe so that way we can put out more content so you can get what you want when you want it. Thank you. And also answer some basic questions I get from different people across the country about how I prospect. So, all right, so we're on the screen. Hey, look at that handsome devil. Let me move him over. Excuse me, move myself over. Now, this is the Mojo contest page. All right, so you click right here and then you get to see the results. Hey, look who's on top. And move me over here. All right, so Daniel, these are all the people that um that did their little session and it's upgraded. So every time you do a session, usually the small numbers usually lets me know that they're calling their expireds first. So that's usually what I do is I call my expireds, my old expireds, and then I go into my cold calling. Then later on in the afternoon, I'll call through my old expireds again and then cold call some more. And then in the evening, if I'm still prospecting for new business, I'll go through my expires one more time because a lot of times they get a lot of calls and not answering their phones. But if you do it different times a day, they'll see you. And also, I have different numbers, so that way they'd be like, "This fool again calling me." So, um, but hey, I want to give a shout out to Carlos. One thing about Carlos, he did over 35,000 dials in the month of December. Last year I only did 32,000 dials. And thanks to Miss Laverne Ford, Miss Ford, thank you because she got me. We was talking last month. I told her I need to step up my game. She gave me some great advice. She did over 200,000, 200 dials last year. James Festini, he only did over 100,000 dials and some change. And he was kind of upset he only did 38 transactions, 39 transactions. But in my opinion, when there's a low inventory, the turnover rate low, so you have to jump up those dials. I know 2 years ago, I only called like I think it was like 18,000, but it had like 12 transactions, eight of them closed. But um when the market starts moving, you don't have to make as many calls. When the market is on a low turnover, you have to make a lot more calls. So dialing with a handheld phone is not going to work. You have to use a dialer. That's why I suggest Mojo. And thanks, Miss Ford, for all your help. So this is the contest page. So if you sign up for the contest, you are on the top 10. At the end of the month, you get your prize for being in the top 10. You get a free month of Mojo. All right. So go over here. This is how you get set up, by the way, for Mojo. You go to settings, and then first off, you go to social post. Now, this confused me at first. Ooh, close that. This confused me at first because authorization um, is you need to authorize it. So you click on that. You input your information for Facebook or Twitter. Right now, when I post, hey, that's my lovely wife. You just see my information. But right here on Twitter, since I have that highlighted, you see anytime I do a session, it's going to post my results. Hey, shout out for James Festini, my boy Colton Lindsay. Yeah, if you do a search on live for sale by owner reading scripts, this is where I first talked to Colton, and this is when he mentions my name and he does the script. Shout out to Derek. These are the two top role players, and Colton's he's the man with for sale by owners. Derek's the man with expireds. Hey, my man Jason Morris, and you see more of my posts on social media through my dialings with Mojo. So you go back over here, you make sure one of these are selected, which social media source you want to post to. So I have mine as authorization is Twitter. So you see deauthorization, that means when it's highlighted deauthorization, you click it and then you'll see authorization. That means it's turned off. So that confused me a little, simple-minded, but hey. Also, you want to make sure you have checked auto post social media. So that way, if you forget, it'll pop up. You might be in a rush. You don't click it. You don't get it doesn't post, and then you don't get any credit. If something happens where you have a drop call or your internet cuts off, when you have auto post on social networks, it might take a minute, but it's going to post your results. So that way you'll always get credit. Let me refresh the screen. See, somebody already finished 3 calls. So it always keeps updating. All right, so let's go back up here. Now you go to contest. Take that off. Now you they're real, read the rules, read all this stuff. But this is all you have to do. Click right here. Boom. In a minute I should get a email stating that, hey, congratulations, you're signed up for the Mojo contest. This is all you do. You're happy go lucky. So let me go up here. There we go. Yep, thank you for participating. So now you're logged in, you don't have to wait. Now, the one thing that helps me remember to log in for the contest is when they send you an email reminding you, hey, we're going to deduct $150 from your account in 5 days. So make sure you have the money because 90% of realtors are broke. 10% of the realtors makes 90% of the transactions. So that's why I guess they have that email. But as soon as I get that email, before I forget, I go into settings, I go into contest, I click on my button, and then I'm good to go. Go back to home. Now, another question I have is how do I make my calls? How is my my groups and calls set up? I'm not the best person with database, so let me move me over here. But this is I talked to another agent. I'm sorry I forgot his name, but he helped me align my call list in a nice, orderly fashion. So what I do is like and as you can see, I got a few numbers, 200, 227,151, numbers. So you know how that go. All right. So let's say 911-90047 LA, my neck of the woods down the street from my house. How many numbers do I have? Boom, I have 9,450 numbers. So um, that's just in that zip code. So if somebody's listing a property, I'm doing circle prospecting, I'll call in that area. If you go and see, and if I um, call, it will show where I left off. Right now I'm calling through there. Let's see where I'm at. I only got 2,183 numbers to go through that calling list. This down. So, hey, Ladera Heights, love Ladera Heights, not that many numbers, only 2,000. So this is how I organize my numbers. This is my office area, 2,685. So if your numbers are all everywhere, just do a search and put all the numbers in that city. Just make a a calling list of, Pico Rivera, California, 9, whatever that area is, and then put all the numbers in that area. So that way it's more able where you can go through the numbers. So when you're ready to call through a certain area, you just click on it and say, hey, I'm going to go through them and stuff. Now, just to let you know, um, I reset my numbers. So it might not look I went through them and stuff. And then if there's an old expired or something like that, I'll just put them back into the mix and just call through them if it's too old. So hopefully that answers, a lot of people's questions to groups. I just make my groups as I see fit. I don't know. There's no really system to it, but I do really have a system for for the call list because it can get messy real quick. So hopefully I answered all your questions. Um, oh, also too, I just want to give thanks to Lucky. Now he's a man. He's a killer on cold calling. This is when he started this. It was 12/26/09. This is over 8 years ago, people, and this forum is just taking off. So you can go to agentsonline.net, and they have a lot more topics you can talk about, um, like REO, BPO. I learned a lot of stuff from BPO when I did it for a minute, and Lucky talks about how he's making cold calls and how he want to up his game. Now, 2017, you got Daniel, Ronnie, um, Miss Laverne. You got a lot of people that's participating, and it's like 35 listings, 40 deals, 700. Congratulations, Daniel. It encourages you to keep on dialing because let's go over to, oh, this is another question I had. Since I'm dialing so much, how many transactions am I receiving? Now, this is today. I didn't get on my thing today, but yesterday I was on there. I didn't I didn't hit my goal of 1,000. Something came up, but I was close. But let's see from the first of the year until today. Now I only got like maybe one solid lead that he's definitely selling, but he says he have a couple of realtors that he know that he's going to interview. So he said I can interview for the job, but it's not really high as a they don't know a realtor. So, but I'm still following up with him, getting my information, all that good stuff. So it's loading, and a couple maybe, yeah, we'll might be selling later on this year or next year. Now, if they say next year, but they say, hey, next year in June when my son or daughter graduates from high school, um, we'll be selling our house and we'll be downsizing. Hey, that's a solid lead because they actually know what they're going to be doing. It's taking a minute, probably because I'm recording. So I hope this is some value. Also, too, if you don't have Mojo, get Mojo. Let them know I referred you so I can get me a little credit. But it's like $150 a month for the dialer, and it's all well worth it. Also, too, if you strap, just downgrade to the $10 license. That way, it keeps your data so you won't lose your data. Now, as of right now, it shows I made 20 total calls made 26,266. Um, percentage of people I contacted, 2, do not call this. 2. Um, excuse me. Here's all my stats and times that I dialed. So for being on the phone for over 26,000 dials, I only got one solid lead. That's because the turnover rate is so low. I'm calling different areas, but you just got another thing I want to just add right quick, to be clear. One thing I think is a major component to prospecting is knowing the turnover rate. Like you see Colton Lindsay, Jason Morris, a few other people across the country, they having a lot of transactions, 50, 60, 100 transactions. But you have to understand their price point, most of the markets are lower than Southern California. Mine's average price point is probably now around about 425, 450, and the turnover rate is much lower. So, like, say, for example, turnover rate. Say if I'm calling Inglewood and that zip code is 90305. Let's say in my farm area or that area that I'm calling, only only there's a let's say to make math easy, there's only 1,000 homes. In that year's time, only 10 homes in that 1,000 sell. That's a 10% turnover rate. That's what I'm saying. So right now in our MLS, we only got like 800, 900 active listings right now. And a normal market in Southern California where I'm at is usually 3,000, 4,000. And then you hear people say, well, the number of homes on the market, if no more homes get added to the market, we have a 3-month, 4-month supply. So that's basically the same concept of turnover. So that's what I'm getting at as far as the turnover rate. But if you're not in the game, if you're not making your calls, it's like the lottery. You don't win if you don't play. So that's one thing my broker always told me. Your lottery ticket is your license, your real estate license. So you need to make calls, you need to be touching people so that way you're able to be in a position to help them with their goals and with their dreams. But you just got to be consistent and persistent. You got to do what you don't want to do at the high level to succeed in real estate. Like my boy Neil Schwartz says, 90% of what's wrong in your life can be cured with massive amounts of prospecting. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to encourage you to do massive amounts of prospecting so you can help yourself and your family. So as always, if you like what you see, leave me a comment below and let everyone know that William May is your Realtor Pro. God bless.